Press International news agency. The MetLife, Metropolitan Insurance Company, received some unusual explanations for accidents, right, from its automobile policy holders. Following are just a few of those. Here's one, quote, man, see what happened was, why do we laugh at that all the time? What happened, right? An invisible car, right, came out of nowhere and struck my car, and then it vanished. Invisible car vanished, right. Excuses, right? The other car collided with mine without warning me of its intentions. I had been driving my car for 40 years when I fell asleep at the wheel and had the accident. As I reached an intersection, a hedge just sprang up and blocked my vision. If this rock hits you, just say amen. As I reached, okay, I did that one already. I wouldn't do it twice. I pulled away from the side of the road, glanced over at my mother-in-law, and headed over the embankment. An excuse. Why do we pick at mothers-in-law? Here's another one. The guy was walking along the street and had no idea which direction to go, so I ran over him. It's his fault. I ran over him. It's always somebody else's fault why we do things. We come up with the most convenient excuse we can at the time. Here's another one. Telephone pole was approaching fast. Think about that one. I attempted to swerve out of its path when it struck my front end. The guy was all over the road. I had to swerve a number of times before I hit him. Did I say that one already? I had to swerve a number of times. Oh, man. The indirect cause officer, he explained it to the MetLife agent. Now, the indirect cause of the accident was a little guy in a small car with a big mouth. Okay. Aren't we something? We are full of excuses. As I mentioned, DC Talk said, I got a lot of excuses, one for every selfish thing I do. We're like that. We hate the blame. Even when we did something wrong, it's you the reason for conditioning me to get me in the mood where I cussed you out. You know? Most people in prison, it was somebody else's fault. It was the man that did it. It was the system. You know? The whole justice system stinks. Excuses. Which leads us to the book of Luke. Chapter 14, verses 16 and 17. We've heard it before. Just want to pass and review, then we'll move on from there. It says, a man prepared a great feast and sent out many invitations. When the banquet was ready, he sent his servant to tell the guests, come, the banquet is ready. Wow. The banquet. What is ready? The banquet. This is a party. You don't even have to bring any gifts. Just come and dine. No obligation. This is feasting. This is enjoyment. Man, excuses are so easy to make. If you're going to give an excuse for not going to a banquet, what else are you giving excuses about? Now, you may have legitimate reasons why you don't want to go somewhere, and people ask you, those who want you to come to their thing, they say, are you doing anything on Friday night? Well, that's not your business, number one. What does that have to do with you? I'm not doing anything with you Friday night. Well, I want you to come in such and such. They want to cage you, to see if you're obligated. And if you're not, you need to come over here and do this. Well, if you don't want to do it, just say, yeah, I'm obligated that night. I'm watching something on TV. Don't tell them that. Just say, there's something I'm doing. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why you want to do something else. If they push you too hard, say, I don't want to go to your party. Just say it. They shouldn't have pushed you. But don't lie and make excuses, okay? Excuses are so easy to make. People make it about their possessions. They make it about their work. They make it about their relationships. And that was what was happening in this parable. I mean, they make it about some of everything. Excuses that were given in Scripture, we've heard it before. The inadequate excuse. There's Moses. I can't talk. And you want me to talk to the greatest king on earth. You want me to go in there and tell them to let all these 600,000, million people, whatever, let them go? I can't get the words out. You know I'm slow of speech. Only problem with that, God told you to do it. Oh, only 3 people heard me. The only problem with giving that excuse is that God told you to do it. Now, God is smarter than you. I hope that's not a revelation. I hope it's not shocking. That's one of the greatest things I have ever learned. God is smarter than me, and not by a little bit. He's smart by a good little piece. He makes A's in class. He invented the A. His wisdom is infinite, people. He knows everything there is to know about you. He has no recalls on his manufactured goods. Nothing the factory did gave you a deficit. He made you exactly like you should be. But I got flaws. He made you exactly like you should be. But why would he do it? Because he made you exactly like you should be. But why have all these imperfections, Pastor? You know what they did with the first perfect person? Anybody remember? We kind of did communion on that one. They couldn't tolerate him. And you're asking God to make you that way. Are you kidding? You just stay just the way you are. God told me that just now. I didn't think about it until now. Word knowledge. See? You don't want to be perfect. Not in this world. They hang people like that. It might hang you anyway, but sure enough hang you if you're perfect. Because people hate excellence. You ever noticed if you did something really good on your job and showed people up? They don't like it. They don't like it at all. Inadequate. Intimidated excuse. Aaron, we talked about it. The people flushed a mandate out of him. Aaron said, keep control of this till I come back. Moses said that to him. Came back 40 days later, and it was just a bedlam. They were partying. What happened there? What? Well, we thought she was dead, man. See? And they were going to kill me. And they said, make us some gods. Man, I had nothing to do with it, really. I said, well, give me your gold. And and he threw it in the fire, and out came this calf. That's what the Bible says that man said out of his own mouth. Just like the telephone pole came up and hit my front end. Out came the calf. The lazy excuse, the sluggard. Wow. The sluggard says, I can't go out there. There's a lion out there. Very well, could be a lion in the street. I can't do that. The fearful excuse. just scared. I'm scared. Gideon says, I'm scared. As I mentioned, this past Monday, preached at Providence House. It's always a blessing to come do that, and especially to share with just a bunch of guys. Fella, I forgot his name, said he might visit the church one day. He was sitting up front. I could tell he was really pulling hard. Where's that in the Bible? When I'm preaching, he said, where's that? What verse? What verse? And boy, he was on it. And I finished my message. He walked up to me with a look on his face, and he said, you've heard, I don't know if you've ever preached before, or you have done something. Well, when I preach, sometimes people say, you preach directly to me. You ever had that, Pastor Vilma? You preach directly to me. And I've heard that before, but man, was I preaching to him. He says, you don't even know what you did, do you? I said, no. Because I preached this sermon. And I talked about the inadequate excuse. And I said, and because these guys were down on their, as we call it, their luck, down in life, I wanted to lift them up. I said, there's nobody more important to God, more important than you guys are. I said, Governor Henry McMaster holds no more attention from God than you do. Down the street, down across town. And you just as well could just show up in that governor's mansion. You just never know. He said, sir, you don't realize what you said to me. And I said, well, what did I say? He said, listen, I've had a job in intelligence and in security. And I got down, I started messing with, methamphetamines. And I could tell he looked kind of different from the other guys, dressed different, looked like he had been through a whole lot, but he got down and lost everything. And he said, I have a degree in security and these kinds of things, and I have been invited to the governor's mansion to do some work there. Remember, guys, I just said there's nobody more important to you in the world, not even Henry McMaster, the governor in the mansion. He said, I've been invited there, and I've been feeling inadequate. How in the world am I going to go up into such a place? It blew my mind. My head was spinning. That was a word of knowledge. That was a word of wisdom. I spoke a word into his life, and he said, yes, I can do it. Yeah. That was a gift of the Spirit. You don't know, you know something, you say something. It just popped into my mind. I never said that to you guys, but to them, in that context, he was sitting there, and it hit him like a brick. Hit me like a brick when he told me I said that. God wanted to get through to him. And I told him I would share this. He said one of these days he may come to visit our church. And I said, I want you to share that when you come. Share your life. He's talking to you too. Look at your neighbor. Tell him he's talking to you too. Now look at the other neighbor and say, yeah, it's all over your face. He's sure enough talking to you. Sure enough, it's all over your face. It's all over your face. Well, those are the excuses that we give. My question to you is this. Can you say it out loud? Come on. What is your excuse? That sounds like what's in your wallet. You can tell when a commercial has really gotten into the culture, when everybody knows they've spent millions on it. God has spent the life of Jesus for you to ask you that question. What's in your wallet? What's your excuse? Maybe your work has taken over your life. Just don't have time to come to church. Maybe I'm tired. I say, I don't care if you sleep in church. Come on anyway. Really. You can learn a lot of things asleep. I've been told that scientifically. You can learn. It doesn't bother me. People have fallen asleep on me for so many years, and I don't even think about it anymore. By the way, the thing went off. On that side, I don't know what happened with it. What's the key word in life? Balance. Maybe pursuing the things of life have made the Lord less a priority than he should be in your life. Maybe you have not cracked open a Bible this week at all. Maybe. Maybe you're holding on to a grudge and you just can't forgive somebody. Stop that. It's not hurting them. It's hurting you. It's killing you. It's an excuse for not obeying God. You don't disobey God just to get them. You are cruising for a bruising. You don't understand, Pastor Greg? No, well, you don't understand me either. Like you were the only one that somebody ever did something to. All right. Maybe you're living like a Christian on Sunday, but not so much during the week. And it's rough out here, man. They'll step on you if you're a Christian out here. Why'd you come to church to get marching orders? Why did you come to church to get a word from God to obey during the week that you're scared to use it because they're going to step on you? I didn't mean to laugh, but I did. I meant to laugh. I tried everything else. I cajole you, plead, and I'm going to laugh. Maybe most of the praying you do is right here at church. What's your excuse? You know what I found out? The Lord is right. If you don't do it, you see those 3 little dots after that? Those 3 little dots right there. It's called an ellipsis, right? That means something else is coming after that. After them 3 dots, when you say dot, 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 that means something else coming. If you don't do it, can I tell you God's going to find somebody else who will? And he will give the blessing that you are entitled to them, and he'll march them right in front of you. I've seen people with stuff that belonged to me in my life. I've seen them with it. And I wanted to steal it and take them. That's my stuff. It's embarrassing. Listen, God's will is going to get done, people. He loves you so much, he wants you to be a helper with it. The strangest thing is that we like to help God out until he asks us to do something that's inconvenient for us. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. Don't worry, don't get mad, I'm talking about me. It's not you, it's me. Isn't that what your last boyfriend said? I've had that one said. Thank God this one didn't. That would have crushed the brother. If you don't do it, God find somebody else who will. Listen to this. This is powerful. Luke chapter 14, verse 21. Watch this now. The servant returned and told his master what they had said. Those are people who they gave excuses, right? They came and told the master what he had said. His master was furious and said, "Go quickly into the streets and alleys of the town and invite the poor." Listen now. Invite the what? The poor, the crippled, the blind, the lame, and the lame. The poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame. Now, he had just talked to able-bodied people, right? Somebody bought a field, some oxen, just got married. These are people just they got this stuff together, have all the use of their faculties. And they're the ones who gave the excuses. And the master was so angry. Listen, he was furious. God gets angry when you give him an excuse. I didn't say he was going to strike you down. It bothers him. Why is he angry? Not that you dissed him. No, it bothers him because he hates the fact that you're not going to be blessed. It hurts him that you're not going to be blessed. It's not about him. He's not taking it personally like that. Here's I don't know, I thought of this. This is not exactly analogous, but you've heard the text that says, God says, "I hate divorce." You remember that? He doesn't hate divorcees. He hates what it does to people. You understand the same principle with this. He was furious Because he understood what would happen to these folks who were giving these excuses. They had no real reasons. They had none. So he said, go into the alleys. That's where people don't normally go, you know. And invite, listen, the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame. Each of these people had limitations that gave them legitimate reasons why they could not make it to the feast. Annette O'Gara has every reason in the world not to come to church. And you see where she's sitting, people? You see where she's sitting? Just about every Sunday. About every Sunday, she's a gift to you. Sits here. Especially to me, right in front of my crazy face. I mean, she sits right in front. I have zero excuses. He shows me every week. And there are numbers of you like that. You've gone through the ringer. I have nothing to complain about. I have no reasons. I have nothing to complain about. On earth, there is no reason why I should not do anything God tells me to do. No reason in the world. I have none. I wish I did without one plea, just as I am. Just take me. Each of these people had legitimate reasons why they couldn't do it. If you do not respond to God's invitation, the Lord will find someone who will, and they will embarrass you because they had even more reason not to do it, and they did it. He has accounted for, you know, he's accounted for every one of your conditions. God has accounted for every condition, and he knows how to compensate for everything that's wrong with you. God allowed you to have the limitation so that he could show you what he could do with somebody with limitations. Not so that you would fail. Not so that you would murmur and complain, God, look at everybody else. Why am I not like Joe and Susie? And Pastor Rick says, Bartholomew. That's going to be another name I use. Why am I not like them? You don't want to be like them. You think you do. But I see, everybody likes them, and they got money, and they do stuff, and they travel, and oh man, everything they touch just turns to gold. Yeah, everything. Hear the everything part. Everybody read that story or heard the story of Midas? Ooh, you got the Midas touch. That's not a good thing. Everything he touched turned to gold. Do you know what happened at that story? He walked over to his daughter one day. She came up to him. He touched her. She turned to gold. Bye-bye. Now you can't touch anything. You got the Midas touch. You don't want that. You think you want it. You don't. And by the way, you think you want to be that person that you think about all the time, that you envy and jealous of? You don't want to be them. Because, see, to be them, you have to be everything they are. And trust me, when they come to church, they don't show you everything they are. They don't. I probably show y'all more what I am. And sometimes I don't even want to tell it. Oh, Lord, okay, I'll tell it. But everybody doesn't show you everything. This is a tabernacle. This is, it hides the holy of holies of your life. You can't go in there. You can't find out all the junk. You can't find all the dirt like they were trying to find on Sister Clinton. They can't find all the dirt. Where's the dirt? Trust me, there's enough dirt in that person's life that if you saw it, you would say, cancel that prayer right there, Lord. I'm fine. When you find out more about somebody else's life, you realize it's just Jesus and the rest of all of us. That's all it is. That's all it is. God wants the able-bodied people to work for him, but he will not wait for their excuses to run out. He's not going to wait on every one of our excuses. All he needs is someone who is willing. All you need to be for God is willing. What do you got to be for God? Willing. If everybody said, what do you got to be for God to use you? Willing. That's all you got to be. Because the greatest enemy that opposes God, by the way, is not the devil. He whipped that demon so hard. Jesus said, I saw Satan. Pew! Cast him out of heaven. He was going fast as lightning. You know how fast lightning goes? Somebody say real fast. If it's lightning, if it's light, it's 186,000, almost 200,000 miles every second. That's like from here to the moon in 1 second. Bam, that's fast. He streaking through the universe. You think he's the big enemy of God? No. No, he's your enemy. God got him taken care of. You know the greatest enemy God has? The human will. Because he can't bring you out of hell if you will yourself to go there. If you just will not obey God, he will not make you. We're the only ones that God can't make do something. Out of all his creation, we're the only ones he can't make do stuff. The only ones. Think hard, think deep. We're the only ones. At the mention of his name, the trees will clap their hands. Jesus says, oh, you're not going to praise the Messiah who's coming into Jerusalem on the donkey? It's okay. I'll call up one of my rocks. And if these children don't cry out, if you shut them up, what's going to cry out? The very rocks. Come on, the very rocks. Say it strong. The very rocks will cry out. You know what God is saying? If you won't praise me, I am telling you that my name will not go unpraised. Somebody gonna do it. I want you to do it. But somebody's gonna do it. Somebody started over there. The few minutes left. All he needs is somebody who is willing. If you are willing, God will make you ready. Don't get ready and see if God will make you willing. He can't fight your will. You get willing and you open the door to ability. And don't feel like doing it. Don't wait till you feel like it. No, just start going. All he wants you to do is be willing. He'll make you ready regardless of your ability, regardless of your disability. The greatest blessing of all times was bestowed upon us because our Lord made no excuses, people. If anyone had an excuse for not coming through for you, God did. Come on. I'm not the one who sinned. Well, I got to do something about y'all. But he came and did it. He kept his promise to us. He kept all of them. 100% of them. And if there was a plus tax, he did that part too. He kept every promise. Promises are hard things to keep. Why do you think you promise something? If it's easy to do, you wouldn't promise. It'd be easy. They'd expect you to do it. It's stuff that's hard. You ever notice a kid tries to get you to promise? Kids do that. And they don't stop. Am I right there? Am I right? They just keep on asking. Please, can I, We got a new round of it with the grandkids. Mr. Derek, he's probably teaching Donovan to this very day. Something he asked for, and we said, well, yeah, you can have that. He goes, today? This day now? He wants to get you to commit. That's what we do with God. That's why you've asked him 517 times for that same thing. Please, can I, That's what we do. We're his kids. He loves you little sloppy, little nasty, sticky kids. He loves every one of you. He loves sticky kids, man. You know, notice it gives God something to do. He made a whole universe. What else is there to do but to dote over you all day long? Loves you. Even when things are bad, he's loving you. Yes. How would you feel if God gave you the same amount of time and attention that you devoted to him? I didn't want to write that. It kind of jumped off the page, kind of vanished and jumped on the page. Out of nowhere. If God put as many things ahead of you as you put ahead of him, how would you feel? If God offered as many excuses as you do, and if the excuses were no more justifiable than yours, how would you feel? If God's promises were no more certain than yours, how would you feel? If God withheld his blessings from you as you withhold your offerings from him, you know I was coming, you know it was coming, you know it was coming. If he withheld his blessings as you withhold your offerings and tithes to him, how would you feel? Here's the deal. We know he's so merciful. We know he's going to bless you. He's going to bless me. Yeah, he's going to bless you out too. You've been blessed out. Suppose the Lord had given an excuse for not going to the cross. He had every excuse in the world. Well, Hebrews 12, 3 and 4. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary and faint-hearted. He understands we're prone. He's not mad at us for giving excuses. He knows we're prone to being weary. It's tiresome down here. Anybody get tired? Anybody tired now? You ain't tired of this sermon, are you? All right, let me finish. I'm finished. I'm not looking. You know, it gets tiring. Life is so everyday. You ever noticed it? It's so sunrise and sunset. It's so work 5 days, 6 days. It's so usual. So, Pastor Rick used the word. It's drudgerous. It's drudge. It's life. We get weary. God understands it. And we can get faint-hearted. He's not mad. That's not why this sermon sounds so hard and tight. He's just saying, come on, you can do this. He's speaking like a father speaks to kids. See, moms say, oh, please don't do that no more. Maybe not your mama, but moms are more nurturing generally, all right? And a mom and dad equally loving their kids, fall down, scrape their knee, they know who to run to first. Not daddy. That makes me mad. Or when they scream at night. You know what my daughter used to scream? Mommy! Nope. I made sure I was in there first. Mommy, I'm the protector of this here house. Mommy, I got your mommy. I'll be in here. That's why I lay right by the door. Time I hear, boom. I'm in there. What is it? Uh-huh. Yeah, mama's more nurturing. Daddy's, he feels a little nurture going on, but man, dads, man, come on, man. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, you cried long enough. Come on, I understand it hurts. Get up, come on, now shake it off, right? Am I telling the truth? Shake it off. And then the leg falls off, right? Shake it off. Oh, God. But you know what? Dads are not wrong for that. We need balance. Need balance. Need nurture. You need toughness. Not hardness. I don't mean domineering, because some guys are stupid. Stupid as the day is long. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about balance. Okay. I feel good today. Y'all can y'all tell? And don't ask me what I ate today. Consider him. Wow. Check this statement out. This one really got me. Can you read it? Come on. A life that is defended by excuses has become comfortable and in defeat. It has settled for mediocrity and is destined. Might as well read it again before it fades away. Don't give excuses. You're comfortable being defeated.